Now we are good. Now we are good. Please let me know if you guys can hear me. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I can see Patrick. I can see Vindra. Beverly. I can see Brilliant. Mike. Fizika. I can see Bongo. How are you guys doing? I'm sorry for these technical issues at the beginning. I hope you all are doing amazingly. And please, on a scale from 0 to 10, how is my audio? Wonderful, excellent. So once again, I love to run these open Q&A sessions and to address as many questions as possible about this beautiful method, Lean Six Sigma. That is an important method related to operational excellence. Yeah, a perfect 10. That's amazing. That's amazing, guys. And I am feeling something here in my heart, you know. Normally, I don't play the guitar on open Q&As. For some reason, I feel that I should play maybe one song. Who agrees? If you agree, if you allow me to play one song, so we can celebrate this amazing Tuesday, you know, with one song. If you are okay, please let me know. Yeah, let's do that. One song. And now, ladies and gentlemen, all questions are welcomed. So please go ahead and type here your question about Lean Six Sigma. I do prefer, let's say, questions about the topics, you know. Marcelo, when is our next green belt, our next black belt? If you want to ask these kind of things, I mean, you can ask anything you want, but I honestly do prefer the questions related to the content. So I think it's a better way for us to explore this time. Yeah. Okay. Question from Vindra. Professor, as belts who are not yet working in Lean Six Sigma environment, how can we practice and improve our soft skills for Lean Six Sigma? Any tips or recommendations? Please. Thank you so very much, Vindra, for your question. And once again, everyone, please feel free to drop your question here, okay? Feel free to drop your questions here. Indra, I do strongly recommend. There are basically two things you can do. Okay, one is to participate in Lean Six Sigma forums, and so you can offer your support to projects, to people that are running projects in other companies. Okay, so networking is extremely important, extremely important. So you can openly offer, on Lean Six Sigma, even in our community. I know you are one of our regular students. You can go ahead at MFOPEX. We do have, guys, an exclusive LinkedIn community for green belts and black belts. And then it's an amazing opportunity for networking. So you can go ahead and drop your notes there offering, support on a project. But this is not the best recommendation, in my opinion. There are two. The best recommendation, in my opinion, is SME. SME. Small and medium enterprise. So right now in Brazil, it is 9 a.m., 11 past the hour. So I woke up, I drove my wife to the university where she works, and then I went to have a coffee. Okay, Vindra. In fact, I had a juice and there is something that we call here in Brazil pão na chapa. That is pretty much, it's bread. Yeah, bread. Wonderful. So I just had like bread and orange juice. Okay, Vindra, do you wanna guess how many minutes, how much time I waited, for an orange juice and a bread? Do you guys wanna guess? Type here for me. In minutes. How much time? In minutes. 18. 18. 1/8. 18 minutes. 18 minutes. So see, there is a process. There is a process. And it was not empty. The restaurant was not empty, but there was just one more customer. Just one more customer. So let me try to do something here. Let me see if that will be. Let me know, guys, if that would be helpful. I wanna simulate, like, super high level, how would I propose something to this restaurant, okay, and to run a project there. Okay, to run a project there. Do you think this is helpful? Should we go ahead and talk about the five Lean Six Sigma steps here? One second. Please let me know if you guys can see. Yeah, so see, I can, first of all, demake, right? Define phase. So I would need to articulate, Vindra, articulate with the process owner or the champion. I would need to talk to the champion and explain to the champion that it is important to have delivery time as short as possible. As short as possible. Why? Because it is, some authors consider that this is a dimension of quality, that cost or price, delivery time is a dimension of quality. Yeah, because quality, according to ISO, is the degree in which you meet customer needs, right? Your product and service characteristics are meeting, customer needs. So see, I could articulate to champion, and Vindra, that at this point you have a lot of opportunities to practice soft skills, right? Because what kind of things will happen when you talk to the restaurant owner saying that it is taking like 18 minutes, delivery time is 18 minutes? For sure no, there is a very high chance that the process owner and the champion will start saying, oh, but this is because we use fresh fruit, this is because we have few employees, this is because there is a lot of reasons to justify the problem. So here you have an amazing opportunity to practice. There is a tool that we teach in Black Belt that is a stakeholder engagement techniques. So you identify. It's very interesting. You can identify based on age. There are some specific techniques because it changes a lot. If you are talking to a baby boomer, to a traditionalist, it is very much different from talking to a millennium. You guys know that, right? So why am I saying that? You will need to convince the process owner and the champion that it is important to solve this problem. And then from the white belt certification program, we know that the best way to do that is pyramid structure. It is pyramid structure. Pyramid structure. So on define phase, we would go ahead and write down on define phase, like Marcelinho's restaurant is facing serious important place in Itajubá, my city, Minas Gerais, my state, Brazil, that serves wonderful orange juice. Oh, here there is something very important. For Vindra and everybody. You will prefer to take just one product or a family of products that are very much similar. So when you are running a true Lean Six Sigma project, please, one product or a family of products. For what would be a family of products? Orange juice with strawberry, orange juice with acerola, yeah. Because remember that you will need to map the process, you will need to find the root causes, so there is a lot of specificities that you definitely cannot mix with bread, orange juice and bread. This is not good. It will damage your evaluation. Yeah. Wonderful. Excellent. So the pyramid structure, let's go ahead here. Unfortunately, customers are complaining about, unfortunately, about delivery time. This problem must be solved. Otherwise, boom, and then we have the negative consequence. And that's the moment when you convince your stakeholders, you know, your champion, process owner. Guys, process owner is process owner. The orange juice, you know, the responsible for producing, you know, the orange juice, for making the orange juice. Champion normally oversees multiple processes. Champion could be, you know, the restaurant's owner. Yeah. And there's a joke that normally when process owner is not supporting you, you should email. Champion is the person that you will be emailing, you know, if you don't have the support from process owner. Yeah, wonderful. Otherwise, this problem must be solved. Otherwise, we will lose customers. Revenue reduction, and there is no problem if there is duplication, you know, like revenue reduction is a consequence of losing customers. Or profit reduction, you know, profit reduction, you know, maybe closing the doors, shutting off the doors, you know, there is a chance. So see that in the as part of the consequence, we have financial, you know, financial negative consequence, financial negative consequence, financial negative consequence. Okay. And guys, once again, I don't know if I told you, it happened, you know, kind of as an accident. You know, in 2016, I got two students from a black belt wave, two black belt students that started applying the make in SMEs, small and medium enterprise. To be honest, before that, I had some doubts if the applicability of the methodology was, you know, really there for small and medium enterprise. And then Davi and Bruno, two students from my city, they started applying, and they did so amazingly that both of them, they have companies. They have a company. They are partners. They have a company that offers continuous improvement, you know, service consultancy to SMEs. So I mean, 100% of their revenues, you know, both revenues, come from that. And then I started talking more about this, you know, hey, we can apply the make for SMEs, because then you don't have the bureaucracy of multinationals. Yeah, you don't need and many times when you have a good champion, you can do crazily amazing things. When you have a champion that understands the importance of being open, you know, of less ego, you know, of, you know, really understanding that no one wants to blame you, wants to attack you. You know, it's just a matter of if you do not admit that you have problems, if you do not, first of all, open up your heart and say, hey, I need help, I need help, you will not be going to the next level. Yeah, this is very much important, very much important. And that's what you can do, definitely do, with SMEs. So that would be a let's say a very high level summary of define phase. And then, Vindra, you could easily go ahead and map this process. You can go ahead and map this process. So I went there. Okay, step number 1, place order, and you do this electronically. And then let's say second step, receive order. And then after that, prepare ingredients, like to make my juice. Yeah. And after that, you go ahead and separate ingredients, prepare juice, and then very simple, then you serve juice. Very high level, serve juice. And then what can you do here? After you map your process? Yeah, you will be identifying that, for example, separate ingredients. Here we are spending, out of these 18 minutes, remember 18 minutes, separate ingredients represented, let's suppose 10 minutes. Let's suppose we had a problem of no orange. So going to the mall, to the market, to buy orange, for example. Let's suppose you found out that. Oh, wonderful. So now let's deep dive on these separate ingredients and run what? And run an Ishikawa. Hi, Professor. For example, if the orange juice was processed using an obsolete juicer versus a new modern juicer. Oh, wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. So now we are talking about potential cause. Yeah. Now we are talking about potential cause, because then we need to come here and deep dive on these specific critical, sub-step. We call this sub-step. Yes, and guys, I am doing everything here by hand. I could be using Minitab, I could be using, workspace, Minitab workspace, but I want to keep it as simple as possible, so you see how how easily applicable this is, how amazingly applicable this is. Because remember, differently from a dentist, where they need to invest a lot of money, to buy equipment and everything. For us, for belts, I mean, what do we need to run projects? You guys tell me. In order to to do our job, what do we need? You need just pen and paper. You know, so long time, or we can say cycle time, to separate ingredients. So let's understand why are we having this effect here. Why are we having this effect, you know? And then we have the 6 M's. We can talk about manpower. Yeah, so we can, and then we see that, for example, operator. Operator. Yeah. Operator does not know the procedure. You know, operator simply does not know the procedure. Yeah. Or now let me place, Jessica, for example, the juicer. You know, juicer is broken, for example, or juicer is, or the mixer is old, you know. And then we can talk about environment, mother nature. So kitchen is so dirty, you know, that the operator decided to, first of all, to clean, you know, the kitchen, for example. We can also say here, so we have machine, we have we have manpower, we have environment, and then we can say, for example, material, a lack of orange. Yeah, so no orange, for example. And then we can say measurement. Oh, measurement, there is nothing, you know, there is nothing for measurement. Okay, that's okay, not a problem. You don't need to have like for all M's. Yeah. And then we have a mother nature, manpower, then we have machine, then we have material, and then we have nothing for measurement. And once again, that's okay. That's okay. You don't need to have everything, you know, right? So everything there. Then you can have wrong SOP, standard operating procedure, standard operating procedure. Yeah, wrong SOP. So just to, you know, very high level, and I hope this is helpful for you guys, just to see how we could apply, you know, Lean Six Sigma, the make in for SMEs. And then after having the potential causes, you need to check with data. So as Jessica said, you know, we could compare. So if there is a potential cause, the most critical potential cause is, oh, the juicer is old, you know, or broken, or a lot of maintenance in the juicer. You know, you can just go ahead and flag it here, yeah, and run an experiment with that. Okay, before buying a new juicer, ladies and gentlemen, before spending money, you need to spend here, the energy here, yeah. So run a pilot, rent a new juicer, for example, before buying, you know, a new juicer, or many new juicers, yeah. And then after that, you need to take action. So let's suppose, oh my God, really, with a new juicer, from you know, 10 minutes on that cycle time, it was reduced to 2 minutes, for example. Okay, so now you go ahead and then you buy a new juicer, yeah. Be very careful that Every time that you go for an investment, we need to have at least an estimation of ROI. At least an estimation of ROI. Okay, very much important. Let me show you guys one that I recently bought, and I love this one. I love this one, and I, from the very bottom of my heart, I am not receiving 1 cent to talk about this product. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this one here from Oster. You know, it's a nice brand. Not specifically for orange juice, maybe, you know, but for vitamins in general, it is very good. You know, as a it's more of a mixer, right? And then after you go ahead, Vindra, and implement your solutions, remember that you must have what? In control phase or at the end of improve phase, you must collect new data. You must collect new data. Collect new data, and then you compare, against the baseline. This is so important. This is brutally important. Yeah, so let me generate some random data here, but just for you guys to have an idea, and also to, as a refresher from a white belt, right? I hope you guys remember. So you have a baseline, and then we have improved process. Yeah. Baseline. So let's suppose we had like 30 data points. Remember that you should have like a just found out that there is an updated version for Minitab. So for all my regular current green belt and black belt students, okay, go ahead and update your Minitab. There's some very cool new functionalities. So baseline, let's suppose 18 minutes and 0.5. Yeah. And now let me generate some random data here. Let's suppose after my improvements, 30 data points, improved process, 5 minutes, and 0.2. C4 and C5. This is delivery time, and this is stage. So stat, control charts, delivery time, stage, so see, at the end of your project, you must have something like this. You know, it is very important when you compare before and after. And remember that you need to do that considering the why. What do I mean by why? You know, we are talking about delivery time. So this is our CTQ. This is our response variable. And delivery time for orange juice. Remember, one product or one family of products. Yes? So see, again, based on a situation that happened to me like 1 hour ago. 1 hour ago. I just wanted to have an orange juice. And then it took like 18 minutes. So I can go ahead, because what's the problem of taking 18 minutes knowing that I had to deliver, a session like in few minutes? The problem is next time when I go there, next time I don't know if I go there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I love the product. Like the orange juice is amazing, and they put a little bit of strawberry. It's amazing, but I don't know. And the thing is, sometimes it takes 5 minutes, and sometimes it takes 25 minutes. Variation, variation. Yeah. So it's unpredictable. The process is unpredictable. This is not good. This is not good. So I can go ahead and articulate with the champion saying, hey, there is a potential impact in revenue. You can potentially lose money, or maybe you are already losing a lot of money. Why? Why? Because delivery time is way too long. Way too long. And then obviously we can run surveys with customers, to understand what is the upper specification limit. Yeah. But definitely we can go ahead, map the process, identify potential causes, then prioritize the critical potential cause, validate root cause, implement solutions, measure again, and also at the very end, Vindra, it is very important to translate that into dollars, into money. And once again, on the fine phase, you can practice a lot of these soft skills with process owner and champion. On during measure and analyze, you can explore, you can train a lot of soft skills with the experts, with what we are calling here operators, right? Because there will be a lot of not invented here, resistance, yeah? On improve phase, you can explore a lot of soft skills related to solution definition, like on your side too, because there is a tendency for us that, whoa, did you guys hear that? And I think I did not gain a lot of weight, I think I am right now operating within my specification limits for my body weight. But apparently I broke my chair. No, I did not. I did not. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like not invented here. Does it make sense, Vindra? Yeah? Did you like it, Yvette? Yeah? Wonderful, wonderful. Let me show you guys here. Yeah? While you guys taking your notes, I will need another minute. Okay, so I'll be back in 1 minute. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, was that helpful? Understood loud and clear. Wonderful. My pleasure, Vindra. Yeah. And this message about the power and the beauty of SMEs is for everybody. Okay, guys. I know from fact, I do run a lot of surveys. I know that the vast majority of my students, they work in corporate world. They work in multinationals, and the vast majority of them, they want to keep working for multinationals. I do respect that. I do understand that. But as your mentor, as your educator, it is my responsibility to tell you that there is another world. There is another world that you should at least consider, at least investigate, at least, place in your parking lot. And this other world is to work as an independent consultant for SMEs. Why am I saying that? Because many of my students moved to this world. I had a period of time in my career until now. I do consultancy for small and medium enterprise, for gyms, for music schools, for gas stations, for restaurant. There is a recent one for a restaurant, specifically for a pasta. Yeah, variation reduction in terms of just one product, very tasty. And why am I so inclined to this world of becoming an independent consultant? Because you are much, much more in control of your career. Mainly if you have 10 or more years in corporate world. If you have completed 10 years, if you have 10 years or more of experience working in multinationals, in corporate world in general, I strongly recommend you, considering, you know, consider to become an independent consultant. The volume of opportunities is insane. And maybe you will be surprised with the financial transformation in your life. Because at least from me and from many of my students and friends that I talk about this, the main limiting belief, do you guys know this concept? Type here yes if you know the concept of limiting belief. It is something that you have very solid in your heart due to past experience, your experience in general, because when you have an experience, it generates a feeling, and based on this feeling, it generates a memory, and based on this memory, it will be generating a belief. Yeah, so we do have a list of things that we believe. Yeah, some of them are conscious, some are unconscious. Yeah, so one of the things that I had in my mind is, oh my god, I cannot leave corporate world because of health insurance. So in my mind, I was blocking myself, to go to the next step in my career because of health insurance, without even investigating if there are alternatives of having a health. I am not against health insurance, don't get me wrong, but are there alternatives for having, a health insurance? Uh, working as an independent consultant, at least here in Brazil, yes, it is possible. And by the way, a much better plan, much better insurance, at a lower cost, and and maybe I am talking too much, but interesting enough, I was using the health insurance in my previous company to solve health issues that were created by the company that was paying my health insurance. So be careful, be careful. I don't want you to go ahead on HR and resign. No, it is. Please don't get me wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong. But once again, I know that many of you guys want corporate world, but as your educator, maybe you feel uncomfortable, maybe you are feeling uncomfortable right now, but just place in your parking lot, and I don't know, maybe in 5 years from now, I'll get a message on LinkedIn from you thanking me for this hard to digest message on April 4th of 2023. Yeah? Because we need to be very careful with the Z's. Y as a function of X. But in fact is Y as a function of X and Z. And Z's, I am talking about uncontrollable factors. So the humor of your boss is uncontrollable. There is no technique, there is no mini tab, to mini tab technique to dribble your the humor variation of your boss. Market in general, like global crisis or or recession, or the currency, in your country versus dollar. We cannot control these things. And I know that the risk being an entrepreneur, being an independent consultant, can be considered higher. Can be considered. First of all, we need to define operational definition of risk. Can be. You can argue that the risk is higher, but what's risk? Yeah. But even knowing that maybe the risk is higher, the number of variables that are in your control, that you have control, like this customer, this other customer, I can go ahead and build my website, I can go ahead and define the best colors, I can go ahead and decide what I'll be talking, how I'll be negotiating my free of charge diagnose, if I'm gonna work with restaurants only, if I'm gonna work with gas stations, with pharmacies, if I wanna go for medium enterprise. That's a very cool niche, because there is a flavor of multinational, but on a smaller scale, and why it is cool, because the speed of the improvements can be like amazing. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to see like the reaction of when I was going to the restaurant, I found João with his sister Ana, João Batista Turrione. In a certain way, he was one of my stakeholders. It's amazing, and I was able to promote some let's say some positive impact in his life, being humble from the very bottom of my heart. So I didn't know Ana, his sister, and I was walking to the restaurant to have the orange juice, and then João saw me, but I don't know, 50 meters. I was kind of far away, and when he saw me, like 7:50 in the morning, Marcelo, hello, Marcelo, and then he started talking to his sister, and then introduced his sister to me. Oh, this is Marcelo, blah, blah, blah. And started talking about the results in his life. I served, in a certain way, I served this person, And why am I saying this? When you promote some positive true transformation, or you help a person to get a true transformation, you create a kind of environment that, in my humble opinion, is uncomparable to anything in multinationals. Because we are talking about end-to-end impact. For small and medium enterprise, it's relatively easier for you to promote end-to-end impact. Because if you compare scopes with multinationals, they are much more manageable. Yeah. Many times the most critical challenge with SMEs is to convince leadership that's important, because normally there's a lot of not invented here, a lot of resistance. But again, I truly think you should at least consider now, or maybe in 3 years from now, or maybe in 5 years from now, but keep in your radar that there is an amazing world outside multinationals. I'll say that again. My lovely students, I know you want corporate, but as your educator, I need to say, keep in your radar, in your mind, that there is an amazing world full of opportunities outside corporate world. And I am not talking about like social impact, because there's an amazing there is a list of amazing things, like of, of incredible positive impact that you can make in this pillar of social, environmental as well. So, okay, that's it. I agree, Professor. Deep down, and I want eventually to be an independent consultant. Yes, I'm glad to know that. I hope these words inspire you. Okay. Good advice, Professor. Working with SMEs. That's amazing, Bongo. I'm glad to know that. There is a message from Fezeka. It makes sense, guys. Others stay a company as a worker a long time and go nothing. Yeah, and there's another thing that we must consider, guys. Our employability at 20s, it's at one level, at 30s, at 40s, because normally your salary, goes up. When your salary goes up, you know that. You get a target on your back. You know that. And even for executives, and when you are at the 50s, sometimes 60s, depending on your country, I am talking to a global audience. We have students in 108 countries, so it depends from country to country. But normally, even for executives, it is not easy, to find. There's a lot of, in my opinion, from what I see in Brazil, in the United States, that I travel a lot, and in many other countries, there's a discrimination. It's a discrimination, guys. It is discrimination, against employees that age like 50s, 60s, even if the person is high energy and everything. So I had a chance to see some very sad situations, that in my opinion the root cause was discrimination. Discrimination. And again, if you are an independent consultant, it goes the other way around. Because the more senior you are, the better. Do you guys agree? Type here. As an independent consultant, if you say, I have 30 plus years of experience, I mean, this is good. Wow, we have a consultant here with 30 plus years of experience. Yeah? With love. Can you guys feel the love? Type here for me. I feel the love. I feel the love. Yeah? With love. With love. With love. Yeah? Wonderful. Guys, I know that we have like 2 minutes past the hour, but because we had like this sound problem at the beginning and then I had to leave at the middle, I would love to stay maybe 10 more minutes so I can address the questions that were presented there. I'll try to touch all of them, okay? So 10 more minutes. Bongo. Hello, everybody. I would like to do yellow and green belt. Please advise of the process. Sinet. So every time that you see a white belt, every time that I advertise a white belt, there will be a yellow plus green combo at the end. Okay? So at this point, I still don't know when we'll have another one. And but once again, whenever you see a white belt, know that we will be offering after that a green and yellow. Yeah, there is a chance. There is a chance that we have one in August. Okay. Cheese bread. Yeah, where is the cheese bread, right, Beverly? Professor, when the course of green belts coming? Yes, there is a chance in August. Professor, what happens if the potential causes of the problem are more than one, say 3, and they all seem important factors? How are we going to deal with such situation? Thank you so much, Bongo. You need to check at least one thing, Bongo. We call this OFAT, one factor at a time. So you need to check all of them with data and stats, data and statistics. Okay? The two most common techniques for OFAT for root cause validation, the two most common are two sample T and two proportions. Okay? Two sample T and two proportions. Hello, Maxwell. Wonderful. Yes, Mike, I'm glad to know you are motivated to. This is, Mike, this is so strong in my heart that I am planning. I think it is the first time I am saying that. I am planning something specific for SMEs. Do you guys think it is a good idea? Please tell me here if you would be interested on a course. I still don't know. Maybe to run like an introduction, a free introduction for continuous improvement for SMEs. Continuous improvement, or maybe Lean Six Sigma for SMEs. Yeah. Do you guys think it is a good idea? So we can explore some specificities, of this world, and then motivate even more people, to pursue this path. Hello, Yolisa. Yes, please, Yolisa, email us at any questions that you guys have related to logistics, topics. Please email us at support@mftreinamentos.com. Okay, support@mftreinamentos.com, and we will definitely help you out. Okay, Yolisa and everybody. Yeah. Wonderful, Luis. I'm glad to know that. Yes, I am planning something. I'm planning something because this is very strong in my heart, and I know this message can help many. Because see, if you many times when you teach just waste analysis for an owner of a small business or of a local business, just talk about the importance of fighting waiting, of fighting inventory, of reducing motion, reducing transportation, over processing, over production. Many times, I mean, by simply talking about this, you can save a small business. My sister, she when she opened up her, she has a clinic that works specifically with children with autism. Beautiful. The work that she does is beautiful. And the revenue was amazing. But zero profit. So my sister was working like crazy, day and night. She studies a lot. She's very dedicated, very motivated. She was doing an amazing work. Again, the revenue, the income was wonderful, but she was completely in debt, and poor. Zero profit. So, I mean, it is very much important that your business, has excellence, and that that you help a lot of people. It is important to help a lot of people on this act, so you have a legacy in this world. So you have like we can argue that then you have the true happiness, but financial health is very important, because it's hard to buy food. It is hard to pay, energy, electricity, and pay all the bills with legacy only. It is hard. So we must operate in both dimensions. Yeah, legacy, but also, some comfort for you, some, and again, Alexandre, you guys know Alexandre, the assistant professor. I did like the initial screening. I started a project, but mainly because it's my sister. So it's like like the many times the hardest place to implement improvements is in your house. Yeah, many times the highest level of resistance not invented here is with your siblings. Yeah, with your brother, your sisters, and then I asked Alexandre to help me, and he went there. He mapped out they make. And then whenever you guys have a chance, ask Alexandre. Alexandre, can you talk about this is only for green belts and black belts, okay guys, because green belts and black belts, they have an exclusive weekly mentoring session with this assistant professor. Alexandre is amazing. He's a doctor as well. He holds a PhD in industrial engineering. He knows a lot about Lean Six Sigma, and he runs a lot of projects on SMEs. And I asked Alexandre about this project because then the Prophet, came in. Yeah. And now she's still working a lot, doing a lot of amazing things with comfort, financially healthy. Yeah. So again, it's not only about having a well succeeded product, service. The service was amazing. The children, were progressing. The parents were super happy, but no profit. And what was the the element that was missing? Pretty much waste analysis, pretty much waste elimination, waste reduction. And by the way, my dear students, every time that you wanna explain what do you do as a belt for people that have like no clue about continuous improvement, they make and anything, just say that you are an expert in reducing waste. It works very well, guys. Don't talk about variation, variability, sigma, standard deviation, square root. Do not overcomplicate. What does a belt do? Oh, I help you reducing waste. Because everyone wants to reduce waste. Because normally it has to do with direct impact in the financial healthy. Yeah, more specifically in profit. Yeah. SME needs to know about the need of continuous improvement. Yeah. It will fly in my country, Nigeria. I can imagine. Yeah. It is very important, Professor. Just let us know. Wonderful. I'm glad to know that, Bongo. I'm glad to know that. Thank you, Luis. Dear Professor, if and when we pass the Green Belt Lean Six Sigma, could we still go to you for some consultation and advice later? Yeah, so that's a good question, Jessica. It's a 1-year program, our Green Belt and also Black Belt. You can renew, okay, Jessica? But normally I don't talk about the renewal process because if students, they think they know that, oh, so I can have 1 more year. Oh, so, and then I can have 1 more year, and then 1 more year. What is the result? And that's why I hate like lifetime access. I hate that. When you see a training, like, yes, you have lifetime access, be very careful. Be very careful. Because one of our worst enemies is procrastination. All of us, by nature, we have some level of procrastination. You guys know that. And that's why I give 1 year access. Why? Because then there is a deadline. But then many students go ahead and take their test in 1 month. Beautiful. So you have 11 more months to come to our mentoring sessions, to review content and everything, okay? I created this renewal process because of the mentoring sessions. So people like mentoring sessions so much that they started asking, Marcelo, can I? And then there was one student. Yeah, the story was, I had only this one. It started as a 3-month program, but then 3 months we found that it was too short, and then I changed to 6 months based on survey, and then we found short as well, and then 1 year. Okay, 1 year worked perfectly. Then I started seeing students registering for green belt again. Registering for green belt again. And I said, well, why? And then I reached out to the students, and then 2 of them said, this is because we want to keep having access to the content, because we are always recording new modules and revamping, and also because of the sessions on Monday. Sessions on Monday. And then I created the renewal process so the person does not need to pay in full. It's like 25%. So you pay much less to have access for 1 more year. But this is only for GBs and BBs, green belts and black belts. And please, if you are a green belt student, a black belt student, don't count on this renewal, okay? Max 1 year to be certified. With love. Professor, have you ever worked on fleet tools, process improvement? And if so, I would like to give an example of such using the make. Maxwell, I don't have any specific example for that. I'm so sorry about that. Filipinos need to do that as well, who contribute upon certification. Amazing, Rodrigo. I'm glad to know that. And by the way, type here for me, from which country are you taking this session, please? Increase sales, reduce cost, maximize asset. Guys, type here for me from which country are you taking this session. Once again, thank you very much for joining me in this session. Okay, it's always a pleasure. I hope you enjoy these conversations as much as I do. And I am looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Fala, Carlão! E aí? Beleza, Carlão? South Africa, Eswatini, Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago, Philippines, Manila, Sri Lanka, wonderful, Costa Rica, Nigeria. That's amazing. And then we will finish this session with some let me check your knowledge about music in general. I'm gonna play here, and then you need to say the name of the song. Let me see. This is the girl from Ipanema. Antônio Carlos Jobim and Vinícius de Moraes. Guys, thank you so very much, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thank you. Bye bye.